Hello, everybody. Happy February. Happy Black History Month. I want to welcome you all to episode 4 of Queens Road, brought to you by the Wrestle Collective. I will be your host today, Carlos Estrada. And with me, I got the usual suspects. Let's check in. Taylor, how's it going?
It's going. It's a day. That's all
It's
I
a
can say.
day.
It's a
Yes.
day.
Just a little bit for me. January was a hard mental health month for me. Um, I was struggling. I mean, I was just those days I wanted to just stay in bed and not get out of bed. Just you get in your own mind and shit like that. And so I just really want to thank the collective. I want to thank the fans of pro wrestling. And I want to thank X. I want to thank all the people on this account because you guys give me some responsibilities and give me a reason that I have to get up. And so I work through my bullshit, like I do. I'm pretty a self-maintained little self-checkout when it comes to that. But just thank you all for being in my life. Thank you all because again, mental health matters. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have your struggles. Reach out if you need somebody. Especially again with the Black History Month too. There's a lot of people in the Black community that struggle with mental health, and it's always been a thing. Like, oh, you can't ask for help. It's not okay. And I want to let you know that it is okay. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay not to be okay. Soda, how you doing?
I'm all right. I am recovering from surgery currently, but I've had wrestling and women's wrestling during that time to heal me. So I'm excited to be here.
Nice. Dev, what's up, my friend?
Excuse me. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm trying to restore the feeling with Sodo and his
Hell yeah.
recovery.
Sending in positive vibes.
I hope he
Like
feels
spirit
elegant.
fingers.
I hope he feels elegant like our brand of elegance on the knockouts division that we're going to talk
De-
about today.
people are wondering if you're feeling okay because you haven't shouted out our shop yet. They're like, is Dev okay? Is he sick? Or
There's a lot to cover, but shopwc.com with the blue sweaters that look so wonderful on me and my co-host today. How can you ever feel blue
so again, guys,
with
there we go.
these?
Nice. Heck yeah. So tonight's show will be a lot more. Again, for Black History Month, we will be getting into our black women Mount Rushmores for female black wrestlers later on in the show. That'll be our main event. If you guys want to think of yours, you can share them in the chat when we get to that segment. But today's episode, again, unless you live in the Rock, again, yesterday was the Royal Rumble. Again, even though the Royal Rumble, WWE might not be the particular number one wrestling company for a lot of people in the collective. Um, you can't be a wrestling group and not talk about the product. Especially, I mean, Royal Rumble is one of their biggest PLEs of the year. It was the first time coming from Saudi Arabia. Of course, the women get a big match there with the women's Royal Rumble. And so shout out to Liv Morgan again. Liv Morgan won the Royal Rumble. Long overdue. If you ask me, she's always kind of been like always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And so again, I just want to shout out Liv. First, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the Royal Rumble talk, what are you guys' thoughts on Liv Morgan winning the Rumble? Start with you, Taylor.
I was really happy. I love Liv Morgan. I have more of like a kind of personal relationship with Liv Morgan than most people. She's very close with my sister. So oh my god, crabs. Jesus. Um, so
Stay
in watching
professional.
just watching Liv and like watching her for as long as I have and like for the longest time, like I thought that she was gonna be unfortunately the one out of the squad like that was gonna be gone first because like it just kind of seemed like that was how it was gonna go. The other two were off kind of doing their own thing, and then Liv she went to SmackDown and then just disappeared for a while. So now her coming back and obviously she had I said this to a friend of mine this morning actually. I said it was more than like she more than earned it. She worked through she rehabbed two shoulder injuries that took her out of big storylines that she was a part of. Missed Evolution, missed all that, came back at Survivor Series, and I said, you know what? That's my Royal Rumble winner. And I had called it from like even before she got hurt last year. I said, oh, she's winning the Rumble next year. I don't care. So she deserved it. She works hard. She's constantly shown that she's improved, despite what people might say on social media.
Well said. So, did you watch the Rumble?
I did not, but I feel very happy for the people that are happy that Liv won, and Tay being one of those people. So I heard a lot of things about it.
And Dav, what were your thoughts on Liv winning the Rumble?
I'm glad. I'm really excited to see what she does because she won it like she never left. So that would, it just feels right. She feels like the right winner. And I hope she challenges. I'm excited to see her challenge Jade Cargill.
I don't think she goes after Jade.
I don't think so either. But
Because
I
I'm
would
pretty
really
sure
like to see
this
that.
Miss Ma'am right here is coming back to do that. Bianca Belair.
Yeah. So again, I was originally going to pick Liv to win the Rumble. I thought it was her story, and then I switched to Bianca because in my mind I'm like, they can't have Bianca win the Chamber 2 years in a row. But apparently, if she's healthy, that's what they're going to do. But to echo what you said, Taylor, I think a lot of people forget Liv's both her friends were fired. She didn't seem like she had her time was going to be very long in WWE. She really picked up. She worked her ass off. She got a lot better in the ring. I know she's gone to the dungeon with Natty. Taking advantage of Maria got injured. Being a women's champion. Again, this is all about promoting women's wrestling. Liv, she literally got that brass ring and took it and never let it go. And so I just think, kudos to her for finding her place, finding her confidence in herself. And again, well-deserved win. I know Caleb, who's in here, he told me he was crying when she won. I think that's a beautiful thing. I love.
I almost did too. It was just such like a full circle moment for her.
Yes.
And you could tell it was very, very emotional for her. She was crying in the ring, while she was supposed to be pointing at the WrestleMania sign.
Yeah.
She's a very you can tell how much she loves what she does. She loves wrestling. That is what she's wanted to do since she was a kid. And for her to be able to make history and do all of these things, it is a lot. It's just a lot. It makes me really happy as a fan. So she's one of the reasons I still kind of keep in touch with what's going on in WWE is because of her. So
yeah. The other person again. Before I get to kind of my thoughts on the Rumble, I just want to shout out Lash Legend. Yesterday, again, we're promoting Black History Month. She shined in that Royal Rumble. I had the feeling that she was going to. I did have to go my prediction thing for Fan of Pro Wrestling, but I predicted that she'd have the most eliminations. She did. She eliminated both the Bella twins. We'll get to that again. Awesome that Brie Bella's back. But it's she eliminated Rhea Ripley. She really shined in this Royal Rumble. A star was made. And just again, shouts to her. Again, somebody. I remember her first match in NXT and be like, "Oh no, what is this?" It wasn't. She wasn't smooth. She wasn't. It was again. She was somebody who was literally a product of the Performance Center. And man, she has come a long way. And so again, I want to shout out Lash Legend, especially for Black History Month. And just again, amazing performance yesterday. What were you guys' thoughts on her performance? Taylor, you go.
I thought she did really good. I didn't really I knew her from Meta-4 in NXT, so I knew who she was, but I hadn't really watched her. Was she in Iron Survivor? Did she do that one year? Did she do that this?
Yeah, she did 1 year. Yes, yeah.
Or last year?
Not this year. I think she was already called up by this year, but yeah, she did it last year.
She did it last year, and I thought that she was really good in that because usually if I tune into NXT, I try to do the PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever the hell you want to call them. So I thought that I'm excited to see where things go from here. I don't obviously think she's ready for a main title kind of push yet, but I could see her going after I think she's teamed up with Nia. They could do the tag belt thing, or she could even go after Julia for the United States Women's United States Championship. They need to do something with that belt too, but that's a story for another day.
So, do you have any thoughts?
I do not, unfortunately, but I've heard a lot of really, really good things about Lash Legend, and I'm always of the mind if someone is is shining and growing, that they deserve to be, rewarded for that. So
So, Dev,
I was really caught up in the crowd reaction that she was getting. I thought she made herself the center of attention and the on most important person of the match out of the 30 women. She had like the most recognition. It was jarring, but it's a credit to her being the top heel in that
awesome.
match.
So this will be the one oh sorry. So this will be the one part of the show where I kind of get long-winded because I just want to talk about the whole Royal Rumble in general, Women's Royal Rumble. Like again, yesterday, this Royal Rumble was in Saudi Arabia. Again, this is Saudi Arabia's first time hosting one of the big five events because again, I also included Money in the Bank in that. And they placed the WWE placed this match first on the card, and I just thought that was a huge miss for WWE. I just thought again when you look at how far women's rights have been behind in there, the fact that these women have to be dressed like Power Rangers to even be there, it's like I just think they didn't set them up for success by having them be the first match. What we were talking about earlier, we were talking about before we were pre-gaming this, is I would have had, and again, shout out to my fellow clay person Hannibal, because I would have had Sami Zayn win the title last night. I would have had Sami Zayn win the title, and I would have had him main eventing the Royal Rumble. And what by that is I think they should have put the men first. I think they should have had two matches in between. You could have had the AJ Styles Gunther again. Thank you AJ Styles for your tenure in WWE. You could have had another match like maybe CM Punk versus Finn Balor, or you could have had again had the women defend maybe have Stephanie defend her title there on the show, or again maybe you had and just another like tag team titles or something else different in there, because to me like just they should have the women's Royal Rumble in they be like the co-main event with Sammy and Drew. And I think that because again, like even with Sammy, the story was already there. He's owed 11 against Drew McIntyre. He should have won beat Drew for the title. Like that to me. So to me, it was just a miss for the presentation. I also feel like this is because again when shout out to Brie Bella, she's back in the WWE. When that Brie mode, when that hit, she got a huge pop. Like the crowd was there, they were going crazy. So with that being said, they should have had more legends there, So I just think this Rumble didn't come off very well to me. And again, and I hate saying that because again, sorry, advocate, that's still your gimmick. But to be an advocate of women's wrestling, to sit there like this, I was watching the match. Like I'm happy for the Candice LeRays and those people that got to have their moments. But I just wish that they would have had more legends, and I wish it would have been placed different on the card because I think opening the show wasn't good for them. So I'm curious of your guys' thoughts on what I just said, and also, do you think it was a hit or miss? Let's start with you, Taylor.
I personally thought that the timing of the women's match was really weird. Like just the pacing of it in general, because it felt like I kind of talked about this on Abel's Space last night. It kind of felt like it was moving slow, but it felt like the entrants were coming in faster than like when the men's was happening. So it was one of those where it's like, okay, I agree with. I wish there would have been like another legend or two in there. Maybe we could have had. I mean, yeah. I just saw my friend Brady's in the chat. That, Alexa and Becky got eliminated so quickly. You had like a lot of like your big name people, and like I get you're trying to like kind of showcase the future of your women's division, as you should. But Becky getting eliminated as fast as she did was crazy. Alexa too. Like I don't think Alexa was supposed to fall off, but it just happened. The pacing of it was weird. I feel like I'm the only person out of everybody that I've seen online that was happy to see Brie Bella back. I get it, people. You guys don't like the Bellas, but I
like the Bellas.
I'm gonna be on my soapbox here for a second. They are a big reason as why women's wrestling is on the map, and they deserve more respect. So, I hope that they come back and they do one last run together as a tag team. Whether it be like Bree's like maybe on a like per appearance kind of deal. She doesn't have to sign like an actual like contract, but for her to come back, I think it would be good for Nikki and her to go for those tag belts because they had talked about it before. So
well, yeah, they've never been tag team champions, so again, they deserve to have that. They deserve to have that in their.
They're like one of WWE's like original women's tag teams. Like you had Lay Cool, was Beth and Natty, and then the Bellas, and then Naomi and Cameron.
Yeah, they both busted their ass, respectively. Nikki with John Cena, and then Brie from her husband Daniel, Bryan Danielson. They both learned a lot. They both got their game. They didn't just rest on their looks to go there and do the crowd. Like they busted their ass to get better in the ring, and that needs to be respected.
Mm-hmm.
Soto, do you have any thoughts on what I said about the Rumble?
You said Candice LeRae, and it's no secret that I love Candice LeRae. I'm just happy she got a moment. I'm happy she was there because she's, as far as I've seen, is vastly underutilized in the WWE. But anybody that knows her knows she's an incredibly hard worker and has done so much before she joined WWE and while she was in NXT. But like, I think she is severely underutilized in her current position. They could do so much more with her because she's got so much experience in the business, and I think that's kind of invaluable to have, if that makes sense. Somebody that has kind of traveled worldly and has wrestled with so many different types of people that they could really use that, but they don't, unfortunately. So I'm just happy.
Yeah, it's what you said too. Like, I wanted more legends, but let's be honest. If they got two more legends, it's probably Candice LeRae and Ivy Nile who's their spot in the Rumble. So,
and I'm
kind of like, I'm okay with the way.
Live with that. I wasn't watching, so I'm not like severely. But I will always shout that. I will shout my girl out. So.
If again for Soto, so for somebody who they only know her from the WWE, what's the Candice LeRae match they should go watch?
I would definitely check out. So, Candice LeRae was like one of the only women that wrestled in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. I would definitely check out any of her like guerrilla warfare matches. She was in a team called the Cutest Tag Team Ever, and actually Candice LeRae beat the Young Bucks on her own.
So by herself.
By herself. So I would definitely go check out her work in PWG.
Nice. Good shout outs. Dev, thoughts on
I was gonna say, wait, Soto, was that your first Young Bucks mention on
that
was
and I've been holding back, but I just had
it's okay. Sorry, Dev.
Just girl talk. It's all right.
Cutting off a black man during Black History Month. My God.
Sorry. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
We'll put it on the tab. It'll be all right. The final sequence with the remaining 9 contenders in the ring, that was the better part of it. Once it got down to Tiffany, Soul, like then it started moving. Like the whole match from like start to finish is pretty sluggish until it gets to like the final 8 and 9. And I think the elimination sequences were kind of intricate at the end for almost everybody and very like specific, really personal. I liked it. I liked how it ended a lot.
Yeah, and I think the Sheik definitely has a type because there was 3 blondes in the match. So I was like, oh, the Sheik has a type. but again, I want to shout it out. Again, to me, I think the best way to put it is just this corporate wrestling. Like they went there and did their job, but for a lot of the women, I don't feel their hearts were into it. But that's not to take away from Liv's accomplishment. I want to shout out again. Another person I want to shout out the performance in the Rumble was Sol Ruca. She did an amazing job. I mean, she is a star. I hope her time in NXT is not too much longer because she just deserves. She deserves to get a main roster call. She is her, and she's gonna be she's gonna make them a lot of money. and she's gonna win a lot of chips. Is there anyone else that you Taylor or you Dev wanted to shout out from the Rumble, the performance?
I want to shout out Roxanne Perez. One, because she did well. Two, the She-Go outfit, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
She looked
Here of the
great.
night. Jordan Grace got eliminated too early. That was ridiculous. She should have been in the final four, and that's easily she meets
100%.
the same criteria as the
Yeah,
final
blonde.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe too muscular for the cheat code.
I would even say, like, I felt like Nia got eliminated like too early. I feel like she should have been in there for a little bit longer. Not that I'm a Nia Jax, like I'm not like number one Nia Jax supporter. I just feel like she was like, I get it. They used her elimination to also eliminate Alexa. So Charlotte, but it was like, it felt like it happened too quick. I would not die for Nia Jax. I would die for Alexa Bliss.
Deb would die for Nia Jax to sit on him.
No.
You want that Annihilator? Stop.
Anyone else, Deb? Anyone else you wanted to shout out, Deb?
That's everybody.
Okay.
Natty debut. I think that was Natty.
Oh yes, thank you for that. Yes,
the re-debut of Natalia as Natty.
And she eliminated Becky. And that's the thing too. I wanted to remember. I think that. And again, it is what it is. Like I think AJ Lee not being there was her kind of giving the thing of, hey, just because my husband has to work here doesn't mean I have to. So I think she was kind of doing Punk's dirty work or Punk's work by not being there. Again, I respect it. It is what it is. But you're taking their money. I don't see the point of boycotting the show. But again, to each their own. Anyone else? Any Royal Rumble going once, going twice? Anything else?
No. Again,
I'm glad the women got the showcase, but they should have placed it differently to have it more, just give it more we're gonna cover. So since we're on Royal Rumble, we're gonna cover WWE first. Another person first thing I want to shout was Ava from NXT. If you guys missed it, she walked away from WWE. She's no longer a part of the company. People were kind of wondering why. And it turns out because she said it today, fuck ICE. She doesn't like their politics, and I like that. Fuck ICE, and so I agree with her there too. Also, she has a girlfriend currently, and again, it has been shown on the way they do cuts. If you're part of the LGBTQ community, you don't really last there long. And so she probably realized that she was just a Nepo hire because, again, they want to keep her dad happy. And she decided that, this place isn't for me anymore. So kudos to her for walking away. I respect that. She never got to wrestle like she wanted to. And again, she just got tired of being a Nepo hire, and I commend her for standing up for herself. Yeah, a lot of guys in the chat too.
I will say on her, I haven't seen her work in the ring or what she does, but I think she's kind of taking that bet on yourself. You can become very comfortable in the Nepo hire. You have a cushy job. You can often abandon your beliefs and abandon the things that you stand for often and become really complacent in that. She could have stayed there and been comfortable and been fine and given who her father is and been comfortable. But then no, she's taking that bet on herself. It can be very risky, especially in the job market that we are currently in most industries. So really kudos to her for being able to do that and stand up for what she believes in, especially in the things that come out of certain people from the WWE. So, shout out to her.
Amen. Taylor, any thoughts?
No, I agree. I think that she is one of the only ones. I mean, you have the wrestlers that have to go kind of tongue in cheek and say, they can't outright say it. But she has always been very vocal about her beliefs, and that is something that I very much appreciate about her. So, as much as it was oh, well, it sucks that you're leaving, it makes sense why she's leaving. And I completely 100% agree.
And her dad's still on the board. So again, I commend her for
Exactly.
speaking out, saying "fuck guys." Good for her. Clap, clap, clap. Dev,
Uh, that was a brilliant way to start the year out, or start this month specifically, Black History Month. Um, couldn't have put it bet couldn't have said it better myself. And um, can't wait for her to join the Don Callis family.
She's gonna she'll
with
be
the shaved
the
head.
first woman to join the Don Callis family.
He did
We
it.
need
Just
somebody-
he did it because he saw Av against Carmen, so he decided to take the
Wait,
lead.
who's gonna wrestle? Who's gonna wrestle? Does she? I thought she doesn't wrestle. So who's gonna
No,
wrestle?
it's
No, but
okay.
again,
She can,
like
just,
I-
she
like-
can just accompany people to the ring, like, you know, it's fine.
Exactly. She'll
Valid.
accompany Britt Baker
No,
into
Britt
the
Baker's
Don
joining
Callis
the Don
family.
Callis family? What?
They need dental insurance, so of course they're gonna hire Ava and DMD.
Thank you, Chris, for being here again, Caleb, and Caleb in the conversation as well. Thank you guys for all being here. James as well. We appreciate all you guys. Much love. So, Taylor, do you have anything else for WWE that you wanted to bring up?
No. I mean, other than tomorrow night, we have a women's world championship match on Monday Night Raw. It's a street fight. Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez. And I feel like with how they're kind of setting up Liv as the Rumble winner, and with that match being a street fight, I would not put it past WWE to have Raquel win that belt. I'm not saying it could happen, but I feel like there is more of a story out of Raquel versus Liv for the title than Raquel versus Stephanie.
And I agree with that, but my only worry with that is where's Stephanie for WrestleMania, because I think it'll kind of
Right, and that's like I don't think
Yeah.
Raquel's winning, but it's just a way to think. So
yeah.
so
I do think she might be winning, but we'll have to see. But also Stephanie will have many more WrestleManias ahead of her. But yeah, Dev, you have anything you want to shout out from the WWE side?
The best thing they can do with that program is for them to book it as Raquel versus Stephanie versus Liv Morgan at WrestleMania in a three-way, because that's the
not a
way you
three-way.
Three-way.
everybody benefits from it.
God.
And Jay Cargill.
Three ways is the
Who
best way to
deserves
support
it.
Black History Month, people.
Always.
There's not
It's the
even
only rational thing to do. The Storm on SmackDown. That needs to be booked better. He needs to wrestle for her title at least twice.
Yep, I agree.
Every while.
Again, if you guys are currently watching this stream on X, please jump over to the YouTube, give us a like. Please like the video, please share it. Please like the comments as well. Like, subscribe. Again, please subscribe to the YouTube as well. Again, we appreciate all of you guys who do help us build our brand up. Again, we had to restart this YouTube page, so if you guys could follow us and turn on the notifications if you aren't already subscribed, we'd love and appreciate that. So the other thing I wanted to do for WWE, just the last thing, and then we'll move over to AEW, is I just wanted to shout out the season 2 of Unreal, and just shout out to how much Becky Lynch and Chelsea Green were featured on that. For me, like again, like I just want to show people, like, just to remember again, sometimes if a woman's not your favorite cup of tea, like they do a lot, they give up a lot, they sacrifice a lot. You see Becky with her daughter, bless you, with her daughter, going with them. Chelsea with like I think 7 broken noses. It's like just like they do a lot for this business, and I just shout out to them for how big they are as talents and getting to be featured for 2 of the 5 episodes on Unreal. Anyone have any thoughts on that? Taylor?
Agreed. I haven't watched Unreal, but at some point I'll get to it. I just I've been busy, but I agree with that. I like the aspect of a show like that. So I'll just have to go and see, and I'll watch it and
Awesome.
see what I think.
Deb, you have any thoughts on Unreal?
I still also have to go see it, but it is a great thing. It's a great thing how they humanize the 2 most entertaining characters in the company. I like that.
There's always, yeah, amen. So, thank you again, guys. Again, long-winded for WWE talk, but again, it is what it is. You got to give them the props when it's the big show in town this weekend. But now we're going to AEW. So, Soto, since again you sat through all the AEW talk, I appreciate you for that. Again, so we'll start you off for AEW. Soto, what do you want to shout for AEW?
So there are three kind of bigger topics. So my favorite match over the past month has been Chris Statlander and Tekla. Obviously they're two very talented individuals, but that really exceeded any expectations that I had, and I really hope that they revisit that match because they really shine, and that is probably in my opinion Tekla's best match so far in AEW. I think she works really nicely with Chris Statlander, and I have no doubt that Tekla will eventually win the AEW Women's World Championship. And then Persephone. I know Taylor wanted to talk about Persephone, and she recently is double contracted with CMLL and AEW. So I'm super excited. I'm always excited for more Mexican talent to come through a major company and get platformed. And Persephone pretty much has it all. And I think the only way she could go is up. And there's so much that she can learn from being in a company like AEW because she just has this like raw star power. And I'm super excited for her to be exposed to a kind of wider audience. And you could tell since she already faced Athena, I think that Tony Khan and the company have a lot of trust in her. So I'm interested to see which route they take her in since she hasn't done a ton of work on the main roster. So maybe she goes. I think she will go at Mercedes again. So the CMLL AW partnership could work really well with that. And I just wanted to shout out Athena, and this is a tangent to AEW's Ring of Honor. There is a Metroplex Wrestling is doing Global Wars with Ring of Honor, and that is Athena's company. So I implore everyone to kind of go check that out in the name of Black History Month with the shout out to Athena. That should be a really good show. And our
Black bosses, hell yeah.
Our new signees, High-End and Maya World, will be on that show. So those are the three big.
And just a public service announcement from Abel. If you're going to Goon for Tekla.
You're going to Goon for the toxic spider.
This has been your public service announcement from the WrestleCollective.
Thank you,
that
Abel.
match actually has been booked
Thank
with
you,
High
Abel.
in My World. It's Athena, Dina Monte, and Billy Starks versus Deonna Purrazzo and High-End in My World. We need to find them a tag team name, I think. High-End in My World.
High World, yeah. Deb, your thoughts on anything Soto shared, and then also something you want to shout from AEW.
Tekla's going to be a world champion. And what I wanted to highlight was a mixed tag match featuring Tony Storm, mainly because they made it really engaging, furthering the storyline that they have between Tony Marina and Orange Cassidy and the rest of the Death Riders. And yeah, I'm just a fan of Marina and Tony being showcased, especially Marina. That's always good for Black History Month is Marina Shafir being on our TV.
Sorry, I thought you were like breaking that. Like, since when is she Black? I didn't know.
No,
I just joking. I was like,
I'm just speaking on half of Black.
This is news to me.
Okay.
Okay.
She is not.
Black people need their milk too. As I was trying to say again, mother's milk for everybody.
Yeah, she did ask Tony, "Do you want some more milk?" Yeah. Marina's not. I just saw this comment. Marina's not going bald.
Marina is not going bald.
Don't speak that.
No.
Don't speak that. Like,
not
but she did it for the love of the game, though. I'd respect that.
I feel like if someone tried to come at Marina with like a pair of scissors, like it would just not end well.
But I think Tony Storm suggested it. Like, this is such a Tony Storm thing. Like, oh, we need let's do hair versus hair, which I'm excited for because that's a very
Yuta gonna be
It's
bald.
different.
it's
I
very
also
I want to say
think
it's very Mexican, but that's a very it happens
How dare
very
you?
Mexican
I think
thing.
Shafir becomes champion this year.
Which one?
The world
Which belt?
champion.
World champion?
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. I thought the TBS belt, like, they'd start her off there with, like, but I think they trust her enough, so I wouldn't be shocked if they
Yeah. We allow her to
the big
skip the
one.
line in the name of
Hell
Black
yeah.
History Month.
I really think I think Marina's the one who's shaving her head. To be honest, that's what I really think is gonna happen.
Marina is not shaving her head. We are not speaking this into existence.
Sorry to invoke a man. Does Roderick know about this?
Yeah, does Roddy know?
Does he know?
Does he know?
Who do you think wears the pants in that relationship? Come on now. She'll tell him to rub the head and like it, and he'll say yes, ma'am.
She's like, you gonna like it? Yes, ma'am.
Pony's not
Taylor,
shaving
go
her
ahead, I
head
know.
either. Oh my god. Okay, so one thing that I want to talk about, I mean, Soto touched on Persephone having the dual contract, but I also want to talk about Zayda Steel is officially all elite. She got that. I think she got her graphic after that match with Marina on Collision. So good for her. I'm excited to see how that goes. Penelope Ford makes her in-ring return with Megan Bayne after being out with her elbow injury. Did they wrestle it was a local team, I think, or but it was nice to see her back. As much as I loved the pairing of Megan and Marina, I love Megan and Penelope.
We can have both.
All three, just have them as if
Why
we
not
can
both?
have Triangle of Madness as a trio. We can have Megan.
A triangle of problems.
Oh,
Is a triangle a three-way? Is a triangle a three-way, Dev?
Maybe.
again, on your point, Tay. That was Zayda Steel's first live television match. And
yeah, I was gonna say I know she
may not,
wrestled on Ring of Honor before, like on Ring of Honor tapings before.
but this is live, and
but
this was her first time. I've not really seen a lot of her. I've seen her on Ring of Honor, so this was a nice. She did really well in that. In one of my first experiences with her, because I watched her in Ring of Honor, but that's about it.
All right. You touched on Stat versus Tekla. I enjoyed that match too. Leading up to that match, or after that match, Babes of Wrath said before if the Sisters of Sin didn't get involved, they would put their tag titles on the line on Collision, which they did last night. Have my thoughts. As we can see here, the Sisters of Sin, Triangle of Madness, and what are Megan and Penelope have a name?
Mega Ford.
Mega Ford. Okay. So they are standing. Yeah, we need a different name.
Workshop that.
Sounds like a commercial for Ford pickups, right? Mega Ford.
But they are standing tall while Sisters of Sin did end up losing this match, which again, I think my biggest problem with the women's division in AEW right now, is that all of the titles are tied up in like one specific story, which is okay to a point until you get stuck with situations like we're in right now. Sisters of the Triangle of Madness. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Triangle of Madness to me, well, the Tekla Statlander match made sense. Like, yeah, Stat wasn't gonna lose. It does kind of make them look a little dumb. At least in my opinion. So that's just me. I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but I'm also just sick and tired of seeing Sky Blue lose all the time. I know I've had this conversation we've had the conversations before. It is okay to watch to be upset when people you like lose all the time. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
she has a couple, like, her only wins, I feel like, since she's come back, have been with the Triangle of Madness. Or like the little one-off wins her and Julia get every once in a while. And it's just frustrating and kind of very what's like disheartening to watch, I suppose is the word. It's like where do they go from there? And like, we kind of touched on this too in Able Space last night. The women's tag division is severely lacking baby faces.
Hmm.
They have like the only other babyface tag team is off on a side quest right now. And
I mean,
I
they
don't
have
know.
High in My World. They have
Yeah,
Tony
but
and
they're
Mina,
not
of
really.
course.
That's what I'm saying. Tony and Mina are the
Yeah.
one that's off on the side quest. Like they're kind of off doing their own thing right now. So
That is true. I think that there's depth in the women's division in general. I just don't think there is enough. There's
it's
depth, but we just need a little bit more, and like the willingness to take the risks compared to the men's division. I don't think they take as many risks as they do on the opposite end. Because sometimes we need risk. If change will not happen unless risks are taken, unless you kind of step outside that comfort box. I'm and I'm I like to remain hopeful that with AEW they will do that this year, especially with like Willow. She's the TBS champion, and I have a lot of hope to see her face a litany of opponents that she's never faced before. Have somebody from CMLL or Stardom come in. Like there's so many people, and there's babyface tag teams in other companies. Have them come in because you
they
have
just
them
need
at
to,
your disposal.
they just need to do something because right now the division as a whole, there's so many women. And I'm
Mhm.
not complaining about seeing Sky Blue on my TV. Like that's my girl. I went 10 months not seeing her on my television to a point where I thought she might not ever wrestle again because her injury could have been career threatening.
Mhm.
Um so I'll take when I can see her on TV when I can get, but they have such a roster of like talented women. And we see the same like, like 10 women on TV all the time, which again is not a problem until you're trying to book, like title like title feuds and stuff like that. And to me, and I know a lot of people are probably not going to agree with me, but Mercedes being gone leaves a very big like hole.
Mhm.
Like there's just like there's this space that she not saying she like took it, but like she has such a presence around her, and now that she's gone, it's like, okay, well, who can we put there? And Tony's like, well, I don't. He's just trying to
Put the
figure it
man.
out. Put the
There's
men
just
there.
like personal these like personal feuds, these like really like blood feuds, these really complex and in-depth feuds. Mercedes, I think, often would invoke those sort of things with the people that she faces, and now that she's gone, we don't really have that. I know that there, Chris Statlander, Willow, uh, Tekla, I know they're Marina. They are like, and Tony, everybody, they are capable of these things. They're just not being given the proper
They're
platform
not being
to,
given the
to be able to
opportunity to
execute
do
it.
it.
Yeah, to be able to do it and like develop it. As much as I like the mixed tag stuff, I feel like that build is kind of ping ponging. It's kind of like all over the place.
I,
And I'm not. I mean, I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying. I think it's super fun, mixed, and it's like a new ground that AEW is having with mixed tags because you don't see that very often in the way that they're doing it, the intergender stuff. But
mhm.
like, I more like blood, like something meaty that I can sink my teeth into. Like Willow and Chris when they were feuding, that was I could really sink my teeth into that. So they just need kind of more directions, I guess.
Mhm. Agreed.
So I want to commend Tony for again he pivoted this week, and put the title again. So we'll talk about him in a little bit. Pivoted and put the TNT title on Tommaso Ciampa. Good
Ciampa
job,
has
Tony.
Wait, I was gonna say
But-
Ciampa won Willow's belt, and she didn't even have to wrestle for
it. But my point to this is again, like if you're going to pivot for the men, do the same for the women. And by like that, I mean, like I would have loved the same thing Taylor said. You should have put the tag titles on the Sisters of Sin, especially when you got Willow as a tag champion. Let them showcase the women more. Let them go out and prove why they were advocating for, women's tag team titles. Let them go and show you why you made the right choice in doing that. Let them do you proud. It's like that's the kind of stuff that, like again, if you're gonna pivot all around, and I definitely agree with you. Mercedes has been missing from the show, but at the same time, give a month and let the women have the chance to shine and take that TV time. And if it doesn't work, resort back to your old booking ways of booking the men. But don't be afraid to give the women more time.
I have one more thing I want to say before we move
Absolutely.
on. Julia Hart took some fucking hard bumps in that match. She took some nasty bumps in that match. And still somehow I thought she got like her shit rocked at one point. Like she was like having an issue trying to like sit up, and I was like, "Oh no." But like for her to like finish the match afterwards, like I'm sure she's fine. Like I haven't heard anything about her having like any problems or anything. But like I felt like in her last couple of matches has slowly started getting back to how she was before she got hurt. Like she's moving faster, she's hitting other like different moves. I still need her to maybe not do that moonsault off the top turnbuckle, but that's a story for another day. Yeah. That's not even her fault though. Like sometimes it's just positioning of where her opponent's at, but like I feel and I was just looking at the chat where it said had me wincing at the bumps she was taking. Like she took some really hard bumps last night, and I just want to throw out there like, Julia, you fucking killed it. Like, proud of you.
And also, so I have a question for you guys, and I'll go back and ask and I want to make this a monthly thing. For the month of January, what would you give Tony's Crown grade for his booking of the women's division? Start with you, Taylor. And we'll see if the grades go up and down every month. So this will be a new thing we're going to start.
I want to say I'm going to go in the middle and give him a C. Because it's the first month of the year. You got to get back onto, you can't give us all the good stuff at once, but also you can give us more than one women's match on a Dynamite. So, like, stop giving us the bare minimum. So he's going to get a C, and we'll see how it goes for me from there.
And Sodo, what would you give Tony's grade?
I got to be right there with Tay, a C, more than 1, 2, 3 women's match, like more. I think it just needs more time, more allow things to kind of ruminate more, allow things to be more fleshed out, because they can only do so much with like a segment or two and a match. Like you can only do so much with like ending a show with, and I love these people, the Triangle of Madness and Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford standing on top of all your champions. Like you can only do that so many times to kind of, we need a little bit more time, a little bit more dedication to it. Well, and I know he wants to, I know he can, I know you have the potential and the capability of doing so. You just need to be trusting in your roster.
And you can only have those 5 people stand over your champions so many times and not have one of them win something. Like, one of them has to win something at some point. I don't care who it is. Megan Bayne could win the belt off of Willow. Like, I think
Megan Bayne is going to win one of the belts this year.
I think she's going after. I feel like she's more toward Statlander instead of the tag belts. But sorry, Dev. Sorry.
You're good. Dev, what's your grade? You're good. I love the smile. All I have to do is smile. You're like, okay.
I'm a C minus.
I too am a C minus, and again, just because of like a lot of things you guys said, like rotate the women in and out, let some new challengers come in, give some more matches. So Tony, again, we're giving you C's. C's get degrees, but again, we ask you to please try to get that B or A from us. Really quick, because I forgot I wanted to do this. Taylor, what would you give WWE for the month of January?
Oh, that's rough. Because I don't watch it all the time. I don't watch it like consistently.
If you don't feel fair, if you don't feel comfortable giving one, then you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm probably gonna watch more now that Liv won the Rumble just to kind of keep up with things. So next month I'll be able to give you a grade.
Dev, what's your grade for WWE for the month of January?
We're watching SmackDown as a family every Friday. I can't wait.
There you go.
Black History Month.
What's your grade though, Dev? What would you give them?
Focus, Dave. Focus.
B minus.
Okay, I like that too. I'll give them a B minus as well. Again, women's showcase. Again, we had 3 matches on Raw. A lot, so again, can't look that for the Netflix premiere. So I will do that. But again, they get a minus because it's the Saudi Arabia bullshit. They should have put those women in a better chance to shine. Again, been a great conversation. Again, Soda puts a lot of work into this, and took a lot of notes. So for his time, I'm not going to just skip over this. So Soto, what you want to share something about Marigold? Go ahead. You can do rapid fire, Soto. Go ahead and share your thoughts on everything you told me about.
Fire. A couple, just like shout out with some wrestlers. So with Marigold, I wanted to shout out Mayu Iwatani. She is, usually known as one of the goats right now, and she is one of the most consistent workers, especially since going from Stardom to Marigold. And she just hit 15 years in professional wrestling. So I definitely would implore anybody to go, check out any of her matches. But she recently had a match on that said show with Utami, and it was amazing. Those two are. I'm reading the chat as I'm saying this, so thank you guys. Those two are 2 of the most talented women in the world. So that is probably the match I would guide y'all to. And if you haven't, this is how to check out things like Stardom and Marigold and Tokyo Joshi. Oh, Stardom is Stardom World, but the others are Wrestle Universe. It has all these companies on it, all in one place for like $7 a month. I wanted to mention Stardom. They have a pay-per-view coming up. Should be on February 7th. It's called Supreme Fight, and a couple matches that I think y'all should check out over the past month. Konami versus Rina for the white belt at one of their New Year's Star shows in the Korakuen Hall, and Hazuki versus Olympia. I often mention both Hazuki and Olympia. They're 2 standout wrestlers so far this year. And Olympia, she recently wrapped up her tour of Japan, and I want to say she's super over there, and that pleases me greatly. I'm excited to see her take the knowledge that she has learned this time around in Japan and bring it to Mexico and possibly come to AEW, since they're kind of all partnered together. So definitely check out those and keep an eye out on Supreme Fight. Saya Kamatani versus Starlight Kid is the big match of the big marquee match on the show. Makihito is also on the show. Fuwa-chan is on the show. Konami. There's a lot of big names on that show, but that big match, Starlight Kid and Saya Kamatani for the red belt, that is one that y'all should keep your eye on. And they've had I would be here all night if I was covering all the tag matches that Stardom's been doing. They've really started their year off super hot. And then Sendai Girls, I wanted to mention just Senka. She's out of her rookie. She has come out of her rookie year now, and she has won her first title, the Sendai Girls Junior title. She defeated Yuna on a recent. Okay, sorry, my headphones died. On a recent show, and I also implore to just check out any of her stuff. Specifically, a match to shout out last year, she faced Aja Kong. Wink, wink, to a little bit later on. And it was a very short match. It was Mania weekend. And if anybody understands wrestling, especially in the lens of a Joshi, like an old fashioned Joshi wrestler from the 80s or 90s, it's Senka. And she is still fairly young, 19, 20 years old. So And Winnie, my friend, mentioned in the chat, she is coming to West Coast Pro. The women of West Coast Pro, that whole company is one of my favorite independents. So keep your eye out there. And one last company I'd like to mention is Tokyo Joshi Pro, which is possibly my favorite. They are having their finals of their Max Heart tournament, which is a tag tournament. It consists of both established and makeshift teams. So you get like new fun matchups, and then you get the teams that you already know, the like fan favorites. And it's one of my favorite companies. You get both serious, you both get comedy. If you like DDT, I definitely recommend checking out Tokyo Joshi, and that the finals of that will be Ober Eats versus Mizuki and Yuta Takami. Yuta, she's a UTA, not like Wheeler Yuta. She is only 18 years old, and she is one of I call them my clients, my favorite wrestlers. She is one of my young clients. So I definitely, and Mizuki of known social media fame. I sound like I'm shilling, but those two have come together really nicely. So I'm super excited to see versus the champions. I will say this is one of my criticisms of just wrestling in general with tournaments is having the same format of the champions going into the finals instead of kind of switching that up. So all the big tag tournaments that have happened recently have had besides New Japan's World Tag League have had their champions go into the finals of the tournament. And I implore all wrestling kind of veer away from that. I'm super excited for the finals of this tournament because that's what's been going on over the past month for the most part for this company. But I think all wrestling needs to switch things up a little bit. Have your champions defend at a later date. I mean, just gets more matches, but like something new, something I don't have to. They can defend their belts at a later date after the tournament is won. So those will probably be all the shout outs that I currently have over for Joshi Wrestling. So thank you for allowing me to have the time.
So Sodo, if there was one of these cards, like let's say someone they're busy, works hectic, got kids, if there's one of these shows that you had seen this past month that you'd recommend for them to go see your independent show of the month or your small promotion show of the month, what would it be?
This actually happened really close to the last episode of Queen's Road, but the first big Tokyo Joshi show of the year, they just call it like Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, like that. They didn't really have a big name for it. That's probably what I would check out, and I'm saying this preemptively, but the upcoming Stardom pay-per-view is probably where I would also guide people to. There's a lot of really good matchups on that show with like familiar names. So that's a future one. And then the Tokyo Joshi one would be the past one over a month. I'd recommend checking out because there's some like when I document the matches that I watch, I always like highlight the ones that are my favorites. And like I went down that show and like highlighted all the matches from that show because all coming out of that, all those women on that show came out really hot, and they still are really hot. So I'm hoping they continue having that momentum throughout the year. Awesome, Dan. Thank you for being such a fan of How Everyone's Wrestling and bringing all that to us. Again, really, really appreciate you. Really quick, before we get to and again, just a really great reason why I'm happy to have Taylor and Sodo on this with us and doing this with us because they have such great insight and they're such passionate fans of women's wrestling. I'm really happy they found on with us here on Queen's Road and in the WrestleCollective in general. So just again, glad to have you both here. Really appreciate you. Just really quick for TNA, and this will kind of go into my when we get to Mount Rushmores. Don't forget what got you there, and what I mean by that is in a time when women's wrestling wasn't really being showcased. TNA was the home for some really good women's wrestling.
I just want to shout out TNA again, and again, I know Danny Luna had some visa issues, so I'll give him a pass for that. But again, you're on AMC. Don't be afraid to do what AEW won't do. Be different. Showcase 2 women matches a week. Let your knockouts shine. And I wanted to shout out for TNA. Thank you for signing Elena Black and not making her close down her OnlyFans. You know, I think these women are independent workers, and again, if there's a market, they should be able to make money off of it. So I give her kudos for that. And do your thing, girl. Get that bag. Do you have anything for TNA, Taylor?
I mean, other than you brought up Elena Black, she officially signed her TNA contract. I know she had, I think her first match was last week.
Yep.
I think it was a squash, but still she had her first match as a TNA knockout. And if I read/remembered this correctly, Ash by Elegance is officially cleared for in-ring competition.
Yeah, she is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, that my dad is a huge, like, he always wanted more for Dana Brooke when she was in WWE. You know, felt like she kind of got the shit end of the stick when she was there. She did a lot. I felt like, at least for me, watching, like, to improve, like, as much as she could. Obviously, she's not like you can't compare her to like a lot of the women that are there now. But I feel like she tried, and that's the best she can do is, you know, try to get better. And then, you know, she got released, went to TNA, won the belt, and then unfortunately had to relinquish the belt for whatever reasons unknown. I'm glad she's cleared though and back. Hopefully, you know, maybe she'll win the belt again down the line, and we'll see what happens. So, especially since isn't the Elegance brand the
Knockouts champions so far? They're defending them on Tuesday on CW on NXT, so we'll see. So, do you have anything for TNA?
I currently do not, other than I will always advocate for Danny Luna. I may not keep up with TNA like that, but I will tune in for a Danny Luna match, as I do across all her matches on the independents as well.
Dev?
Shakara Jackson, aka
it's Mara Sade.
Mara Sade. She needs to be pushed in the impact zone. She should not be losing to the Nemeth brother. Yuck.
Gross.
Push her for push her on Black History Month.
Yep.
We say so.
And Tasha Steele for that matter too.
I do want to mention somebody from TNA. Zayda Stone. It is Black History Month. I want to shout out Zayda Stone. She is like still very young, a little bit green, but she has wrestled some of our favorites like Queen Aminata on DPW. Still fairly young, lots of potential in her. So I want to shout out to her because she is signed to TNA.
Awesome. And just really quick, guys, if you're watching this again, if you have not hit that subscribe button on YouTube, please subscribe. Please like this video. Please share it. Again, please comment. Please help us build our algorithm. Help us build our account. Again, if you're watching this on X currently, if you could switch over to WC Worldwide, give the follow there. Again, subscribe to the YouTube as well. We appreciate you. Again, we thank you for our support. Again, we talk about it. We're about it. Again, I don't think you see a lot of shows like this where the showcase of women's wrestling. Shopwc.com, as well. Again, just thank you all for being here, giving us your time today. Again, time is a currency, and we thank you for that. So Mount Rushmore time. So it's Black History Month, and we wanted to talk about our Mount Rushmore for Black performers, because again, the women have really excelled lately, and I think there's a lot of current women that need to be shouted out, but there's also a lot of pioneers in the past that were waving the flag for black performers in a time where they were more just sex symbols, or there wasn't a lot of them on television, so they were the representation for the women who are now becoming talent and good thing. But I think the beautiful thing about this, to celebrate especially Black History Month, is there's a lot of role models currently in pro wrestling that little young Black girls can look up to. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because they got a lot of good role models out there that are showing them to be strong businesswomen, to go and not be afraid to stick up for yourself and to celebrate yourself. So with that said, we're going to get into shouting out our Mount Rushmores. And I believe, Taylor, you're first, correct?
Yes, I am. So my women's Mount Rushmore, I'm going to start off with Mercedes Moné. She is a big reason as to why I'm so in love with women's professional wrestling. It was her, it was Charlotte, it was Becky when they were brought up from NXT. She was the one that I kept my eyes on. She's just so talented, and so like the things that she has done for women's wrestling. She's the highest paid women's wrestler in the world. She really, when, as much as I don't like to talk about this because it's a very touchy subject, she walked out and proved that she is the best of the best, that she can do what she does better than 90% of, I could even say she's better than a lot of men. So she's wonderful. My second one is Athena. So my first ever time I saw Athena wrestle in person was in WWE. I saw her in the 2018 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. She took some nasty bumps in that match. Like, you can just tell she loves what she does. She also did not get the best sort of booking in WWE, left and proved again why she is one of the best women's wrestlers today. I want to see her more on, like, quote unquote main roster AEW television. But we will hopefully 2026 will be the year we see Athena on Dynamite more. My third one is Naomi. She was doing amazing work before she had to drop that, before she had to relinquish the belt. Again, another one, she left and made a name for herself outside of WWE in TNA. I've been watching Naomi since, I want to say, like, I was 10, 11. I told her this when I met her, and I felt so bad. She was like, "Oh my God, really?" I'm like, "I know, I probably just made you feel really old. I'm so sorry." Because I know you're... And I'm like, the work that she's put in, I don't think she gets the recognition that she deserves. Hopefully down the line, when she's able to come back, she can come back and prove to everybody again why she is so good at what she does. And then my last one is the EST, Bianca Belair. We haven't seen her for about a year, almost. She got hurt in that triple threat match at WrestleMania, but she is someone who did not come from a wrestling background. She wasn't like a high school athlete. She came in and she's a product of the Performance Center, but in a good way. She had that I was going to say she was the first, along with Mercedes, black woman to ever main event WrestleMania. She is one of she's one of 5 women to ever main event WrestleMania. And to do that alongside Mercedes Moné is such a... And I remember Michael Cole said on commentary, and everyone gets so mad at him for saying this, because they're like, "Oh, well, why do you have to bring, race into it and blah, 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 blah." But this was a big moment. He said, this is the first time that 2 black women's wrestlers will have ever main evented WrestleMania. And she again proved why she and fans call herself the EST. She is phenomenal, and I hope that she comes back soon. And the division is missing her a lot, I feel, especially on SmackDown. So that's my little spiel.
Great Mount Rushmore. And before I forget, guys, again, leave us your Mount Rushmores in the comments. You can also share them on X and tag us WC Worldwide. Again, we would love to see your Mount Rushmores for black women wrestlers. Again, tag us WC Worldwide. Put in the comments here, and we'll retweet them for you guys. Because again, we want to celebrate black women wrestling, and so the best way to do that would be to shout your guys' Mount Rushmores as well. So there was no rhyme or reason for this, except for when we got Graps our picture request. Again, thank you to Big Graps, our producer on the show, guys. He's doing so much behind the scenes. I just really want to shout him out for all that he does for us. Again, thank you, Big Graps, for being here. I am next on the list. My first, again, I'm a little older than these guys. So with that said, my first one is Jacqueline. Again, Jacqueline was a pioneer in the women's division for wrestling. At a time where again there wasn't very many women on TV, let alone black women. She really excelled. The thing I love about is her confidence. You know, she had a little twang in her talk. You know, and she didn't give a shit. You know, she was out there and she would sell a promo. I mean, she's given one of my favorite promos in WCW with her and Mean Gene, and she says chicken. He goes a chicken. You know, it's like I love Jacqueline. She is that. She is her. She wrestled the guys. You know, just she's a badass, and so I feel she deserves her accolades. She deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. That needs to happen. She's a pioneer. So I really, again, she probably was a role model for a lot of the current women. My second is Awesome Kong. Again, the CEO of the collective, Slick, was like, Awesome Kong, I can't wait to hear this. For me, like I said, about in a time where the divas were being cut short in WWE because, you know, the guys went too long and you guys just get to go out there and do a 2-minute match and stuff like that. Awesome Kong was a pioneer in TNA, and she was putting on amazing women's matches and really was showcasing like wrestling, you know, doing moves that you never seen before. A powerhouse, you know. I remember, you know, just the amazing things you have with Gail Kim, with Mickey James, Victoria that came over there. Like she was just like she was the division at a time where we're being showcased in the WWE. She was a reason to go watch women's wrestling in TNA, and to me, like she is a pioneer for me. Also, you know, just a big woman, you know, coming on there and you know, like just being a pioneer again. Just kudos to her for all she did. Again, she again talk about going there with the WWE again, but she got pregnant, I think allegedly. But again, just a nice opportunity there. I really wanted to shout her out for all she's done. My next one is Bianca Belair. Again, the EST of WWE. She just revolutionized this for somebody who never was even NXT champion. She got brought up to the main roster. Someone who designs her own. She designs her own gear. She takes pride in what she does. You know, using the braid against something that a lot of black women are just using it as a weapon and going out there and doing that. You know, and again, my hair I bought, I paid for it. You know, I love that shit. You know, and it's like I just love what she does with that. And she's again, she at a time where again, I'm sure where Vince wanted to push the Charlottes, you know, and the Alexas and the Baileys, like she grabbed that brass ring, and she's really been a pioneer in women's wrestling. Again, you see countless kids in the audience dressed like Bianca Belair, you know, with their hair done, and I just think she's a true pioneer and a true role model for women. The way she carries herself, she's definitely missed, and I cannot wait to see her come back and get that women's championship, the EST of WWE. My final one is Mercedes Moné. The final again, the boss, not the final boss, but again, the CEO. Again, to echo what Taylor said, you know, just somebody who again, she did a lot. She deserved better booking in WWE. You know, having to be the person for Charlotte just to give her the title a week later, that shit pissed me off. She should have had longer reigns in WWE, but she knew her worth, and when she wasn't happy with the booking, she left, and she took a bet. She took a bet on herself. And she came and she almost went back, and then Tony Khan paid her. She's the highest paid woman in wrestling. Women's wrestling is better showcased today. Women make better money today because of Mercedes Moné, and that could not be overlooked. So I think she's a must for me for Mount Rushmore. Thank you for what you do for women's wrestling, Mercedes, for going around and just all around the world and giving plenty of little girls a role model to look up. She doesn't matter if they're black, white, Asian, you know, all different ethnicities. They're seeing you around the world because you're doing the grind. They just thank you for that. The next person is Sodo. Sodo, take it away.
Oh, it's me next. All right. So I wanted
It's me.
My first woman is Sandy Parker, and I know not a lot of people may know who she is, but I find it imperative to mention her. She, I think, was more than a wrestler. She was an openly gay woman in the 60s and in the 70s in a business that is notoriously sexist, racist, and just absolutely intolerant. She just was a trailblazer during that time and really like faced some really unique struggles. And you don't often see her mentioned. And I think she was also a heel, and in that time period, and especially I think and we've kind of veered away from that, but like how a Black woman in that time period were demonized very often, but she was able to use her, how would I word this, her femininity as a superpower. And I think that her legacy as a gay Black woman still shines today. And there's another woman that I'm going to mention later on in my list that was also is another queer person. So I just wanted to shout her out. And then my next woman is Aja Kong, and she's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. She has overcome so much in her life, and she's kind of when she was training to be a wrestler, she transitioned into Aja Kong. She became this standout. She has faced unique struggles. Not only is she in her like class of wrestlers bigger than the other girls, but she is both Black and Japanese. And in that time period, her trainers, her bookers wanted to kind of weaponize her Blackness. And I think that is a very unique struggle that she does not often like doesn't get mentioned. And they wanted to insinuate she's not Japanese. They wanted to use that against her, but she has never. She's always ran right through that, and is one of like the biggest powerhouses in wrestling, and she is still going today. A lot of people don't know that she is still going today. She has been freelancing in Japan for many years, and she's kind of used all the like turmoil in her life and used that into her kind of being a powerhouse. So one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And then my next woman is Athena, and I relate to Athena a lot. I think her and I love wrestling in very similar ways. She calls herself a sicko, and in the same vein as Mercedes, has been nothing but an advocate for other women in wrestling. She currently runs Metroplex Wrestling, and I think that often goes unnoticed. And as her character is very herself, like I'm the forever women's champion. This is me. But I think beyond that, she doesn't center herself, and I think that's an invaluable trait to have. She often uplifts other people that she's with, even on screen. Like recently, she, Billy Starks. She isn't doing nothing but uplifting young talent like Billy Starks and Maya World and Hyan, and is constantly advocating for them in similar veins to Mercedes. And I always will shout out her work with Mercedes. And then my last woman that I'd like to mention is Nyla Rose, somebody that I don't think a lot of people know is Black. She's Native American and Black, and she was the first AEW women's champion. And I will do as much work as I can to shout out my fellow trans people. And I love her so much, and I think that one of my favorite things about her is that she's kind of been proved to be more than her struggles, proved to be more than like, I am a trans woman, I am this, like I am so much more than that. And someone who not only is a serious powerhouse of a wrestler, but knows how to have fun. And one of my big wishes currently for her is to be showcased more on AEW television. She currently is working on like in the Independence and in Eve, as well as we can see on the screen here with our beautiful image. Thank you, Graphs. So I don't think that she gets enough love. So those are my four.
Well, again, another great Mount Rushmore. Thank you for making sure the inclusion of the LGBTQ community on your Mount Rushmore. Beautiful stuff. Dev, take us home with this.
Mercedes Moné, Duh. She's the best wrestler in the world. Athena. She's the longest reigning champion in the whole wide world.
The forever
Duh.
champ.
The
Duh.
forever
Forever.
champion.
Forever. Bianca Belair. First black woman to main event WrestleMania
With Mercedes.
with Mercedes. Best in the world. Yeah, and the company's really, there's also a void in her company. It's kind of funny how her and Mercedes are both, absent, and there's such a void without them. And my last one is Jazz, who has yet to be mentioned.
Hell yeah.
Bald
Jazz Ball, thank
empowerment,
you.
Jazz.
That'll be a.
That's Black history.
That's gonna be someone else come February. Just as much as saying.
Who?
You know who might be going ball in that tag match. I don't want to upset people.
Yuta is gonna be bald. It's not gonna be Marina. I mean, I could see Tony, maybe, but it's not
Orange.
Gonna be
We didn't mention Orange.
No, Orange cannot go bald. No.
He's gonna get peeled like an orange.
Blood orange.
No.
There you go. Dev, really quick, because you said, and again, it's something we were preaming this. I'm like, give your authentic list, because again, if they're repeats, that's a good thing. I think to have women that are on multiple Mount Rushmore. So, Dev, I'm asking you a bonus question because again, this is Black History Month. What does it mean to you as a black man to see so many black women shining in pro wrestling?
It's exciting. It's probably the most exciting thing to see, the most encouraging thing, and some of the more motivating things to see when you're a wrestling fan, when I'm a wrestling fan. So, yeah, your Belairs, Belairs and your Banks headlining WrestleMania, that got me back into watching wrestling. And it came around a time, and probably one of the most crucial times, if you think, those who were tapped in politically around that time in real time. So it means a lot, especially to see Ultimo Monet, like to garner the reactions that she does to make people hate her. That's great. People love her, people hate her. It's just a credit to that she can garner something like that and receive that level of reception. And she earned it.
Well said. Thank you again. Thank you for that. And again, like that's one thing I want just Dev like we got it. We should again. We're all on the same page, just so you know. We're doing the Black Women's Mount Rushmore. Again, just thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. It's important to have role models, people that look like you on television. That's one reason why I love AEW so much, because I feel like I truly get that there. And so, even though it's a thank you for sharing that. And again, another black woman, Brandy Rose, and in the spirit of Brandy Rose, it's open mic night, bitches. So she told me it's open mic night. So Taylor, take it away. Anything you want to discuss as we're ending the show?
Okay. Well, it's not really it is kind of women's wrestling related, but if y'all are looking to start your wrestling card collection, I am your girl. I have so many. I got this Bianca Belair. And what else do I have? I got
Are you the queen?
Got this queen
of the cards?
Yes.
Got this Willow Nightingale. This one's numbered to 99. And if you're I have plenty of things. Just reach out to me. I also my eBay is literally the same as all my other social medias. So you can always I can always send you the link too. But I am trying to raise money to go to Squared Circle Expo in March. I'm buying my tickets next weekend. But if y'all would like to help me meet Mina Shirakawa, please. I need to get her to
Please buy
shout
a
out the
card.
collective. Will you buy this card? Buy this autographed Julia Hart.
ShopDubC.com.
Or what else do I have? I have this Anna J patch that is numbered to 10, and the shirt says it's from her shirt that says "Fat Ass Bad Attitude." So, oh, also one more. He's not a woman, but Jack Barry.
I've always said close enough, Tay.
Close enough, but that is
Close
all I
enough.
have for open mic night, bitch. So
Thank you. Dev, your turn.
Tay has a great hoodie. Can we get back to seeing Tay's hoodie that you can get on ShopWC.com?
ShopWC.com, baby.
Sensational shade of blue.
It's
And
almost sky blue. Sorry.
there was a tag match between the Love Bombs and the Mega Fords that happened in January, I think.
Oh
That
yeah.
was that was a great match. And that also furthered their angles. You can get the camera off me now. I'm not that important.
Soto, take it away. Oh, or Deborah, I'm sorry, Deborah, still going?
No, that was it. Great. The tag division for in regards to what you guys were saying about the tag division, I do think it is in relatively good condition. Just off of the because we didn't mention the birds, the Windsor birds. I think I'm gonna just call them
Mm.
The
wind
Windsor
birds.
Grumpy had a
bird.
good name. Grumpy had a good name in the chat. I forgot what it was.
We'll call them the wind birds.
The Windbirds.
The hater wins.
Doesn't have anything to do with Jamie Hater, but it's okay. Go Birds!
The hater wins, exactly.
The Hater wins, yes.
Yeah, they're included in that. They're a part of that division now, and those are two convincing contenders for the championships. Because didn't Windsor pin Mercedes at one point?
Yeah,
She won the Rev Pro
rolled her
title.
up. She has the Rev Pro belts.
Yeah, like they're both, and Jamie's pinned Tony Storm. Like there's some heavy contenders. So I like that for the woman, as well as your Maya Worlds and whatever else will be put together in ROH and the other branching companies. So that was one of my counters was not I don't think anybody was wrong about their feedbacks for the tag division, but the way I see it, the women's tag scene is relatively good, other than like the TV time. That should be better. But the state of the division, I think is all right.
Soto?
In the same reign of supporting women's wrestlers, Black women's wrestlers during Black History Month, I wanted to shout out 3 people in our own community, and 2 I've mentioned in the first episode before, but change and celebrating Black history. I think it, we can do it directly. We can do it with the people that are next to us. So, Black Girl Wrestling on Twitter, aka Danny, and her fellow Dynamite Diaries co-host at Lyric Wrestling. These 2 routinely cover wrestling in both a professional and a very fun sense, a very fun manner. So I would definitely check them out. And then Bria, BREIIGHA. She recently got into interviewing wrestlers, and she is one of the most kind people, and she loves wrestling in such a fun way in the same vein that we do. So I just wanted to shout her out as well. She's starting to post more and getting more into the wrestling business, and I'm really lucky to be mutuals with these people. And yes, her name is in the comments here, so we can go shout her out and check her out. I'm really lucky, not just to be mutuals with them, but to be friends and mutuals with with my fellow Queens Road hosts. So thank you guys.
The thing I was reminded about when Soto was sharing his list of of his Mount Rushmore of black women was Nyla Rose, and the thing is, like, I too share the sentiment that I wish she was booked better. I wish she was on television. She's so fucking funny. Like, just she could be doing a great baby face right now, doing tag team wrestling. But the other thing that reminded me was if it wasn't for a company like AEW, she would have never been people wouldn't know her because she would never have a chance in WWE, and she would never been a women's champion there. So even though it's frustrating that she doesn't have better booking, I'm grateful for companies like AEW because they do showcase her, getting first AEW women's champion, and just it's a beautiful thing. So continue to support your guys in the other wrestling promotions. Support AEW, support the independents that are booking black women. Again, if
where trans people are being prosecuted.
Yes,
it's nice
support.
To see somebody like Nyla Rose.
Absolutely. Again, and then just a shout out to AEW for shouting out black. First thing they did at midnight was give the Black History Month, post, and shouting out Black History Month because the WWE doesn't do that more. They're too good for that now. They don't want to celebrate the minorities that they do. So even though we're seeing many women, showcase on WWE, it's because they bring money to them, and it's not for the right reasons. So again, for those wrestling promotions that are doing it for the right reasons, that are showcasing the women, for the independents that are showcasing LGBTQ, fans, talent, please support them. If you can afford it today, buy a shirt, showcase those black women, as you're out and about, support them, help them make a living so they can, keep doing the thing that they love. Again, want to thank you all for being here with us. Again, one last shout out. If you haven't liked it yet, please like the post, please share it, please subscribe to our YouTube, to our WC Worldwide X account. Just go out there, please share this again. Again, I want to thank you again, the three people here. Thank you, Soto. Thank you, Dev. Thank you, Taylor. Also, thank you, Big Rap, for being behind the scenes. Thank you all who've been with us in the chat active. Thank you for showing us that we were right to do this Queens Road and to showcase women's wrestling. And with that said, we'll be back next month. Again, Wrestling Autism will be on tomorrow. Also, I will, for my team at the Fans of Pro Wrestling, they will be doing their show here in about 20 minutes. Please support them as well. Brandon, and all those guys as well. John, and Will. Please support those guys. Brian as well. Thank you all for being here again. I'll be back with WWE Raw Reaction. WrestleCollective Weekly will be back on Thursdays. Also, Wrestling with Tiz would like to fuse on Wednesdays as also, and then Wednesday Night Chaos. So again, thank you all for being here. We appreciate each one of you. Again, let's celebrate the women, celebrate the LGBT community, and celebrate the Black performers for Black History Month. Thank you all for being here. Good night, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
Ladies and gents, thanks for stopping by. And until next time, this is the Wrestle Collective.